GPT, Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Imagine you're a chef in a kitchen full of ingredients. You've been cooking for years, learning recipes from all over the world. Now, when someone asks you to whip up a dish, you can create something new that's inspired by all those recipes you've learned. That's what GPT is like. It's a computer program that's pre-trained with vast information from the internet and learning the data patterns for years. And when someone asks something new, it is ready to cook up answers on the fly. Neural network. Let's think of a bustling city full of busy streets and intersections. Each intersection is like a neuron in a neural network. Cars, data in case of ChatGPT, travel the streets, and when they reach an intersection, they decide which way to turn based on the traffic lights. All these interconnected paths and decisions form a network that can guide you from one end of the city to another. A neural network processes data the same way, based on the requirement to get from input to output. Language model. Think of a language model as a library in your mind that contains every book you've ever read. Whenever you want to say something, you pull out the right book for inspiration. ChatGPT has a similar mental library built from the text it's been trained on, helping it to craft responses that are relevant and informative, just like how you draw from your readings to contribute to a conversation. Natural language processing, NLP. Imagine you're at a United Nations meeting with people from all over the world. There's a special device that can understand and translate any language spoken. That's what NLP is in the AI world. It's the technology that enables ChatGPT to understand and generate human language, just like that device, making communication between humans and machines as smooth as a diplomatic conversation. Autoregressive Model. Think of a storyteller who begins with "once upon a time" and then develops the tale one sentence at a time, each line building on the last. An autoregressive model works similarly. ChatGPT generates its responses one piece at a time, with each new word or phrase building on what's already been said, ensuring the story flows smoothly from start to finish. Transformer architecture. The transformer architecture is like the blueprint for a state-of-the-art theater, where every actor has a role to play. In this theater, the spotlight can shine on multiple actors at once, highlighting their interactions. This is how ChatGPT processes language, considering all parts of a sentence, word or phrase, simultaneously to understand the context and generate a response. Much like a director orchestrates actors on stage to tell a compelling story. Encoder-Decoder Architecture. This one's like a skilled translator at a UN meeting. You speak in your native language, and the translator or encoder carefully listens and converts your words into a universal language inside their head. Then they speak out or decode your message in another language for everyone to understand. ChatGPT uses a similar process to make sense of your prompts and then generate a response that you can understand. Deep learning. Imagine you're learning to recognize different types of cars. At first, you might just notice basic features like color and size. But as you dive deeper, you start recognizing models and even engine types. Deep learning is like that. It's a part of AI that learns complex patterns in data. ChatGPT uses deep learning to understand the nuances of language, going beyond the basics to grasp slang, idioms, and even humor, much like you learn to tell a sedan from a coupe. Zero-shot learning. Think of zero-shot learning as being asked to play a new board game without reading the rules. You watch others play once, and you get the gist of it immediately. ChatGPT can do something similar with tasks it hasn't been explicitly trained on. It uses its general understanding of language to make a good guess at how to handle new types of questions or prompts, often getting it right on the first try. Reinforcement learning from human feedback, RLHF. Think of RLHF as a mentorship program. Just like a novice painter learns from a master, by getting feedback on their brushstrokes, ChatGPT learns from human trainers. It gets advice on its conversations, learning what's good, keep it up, and what's not, try again. This way, it becomes more adept at chatting in a way that's helpful and makes sense to us humans. Proximal Policy Optimization, PPO. PPO is like a personal trainer for ChatGPT. In the gym, a trainer might adjust your workout routine to help you get stronger without injuring yourself. PPO does something similar for AI. It's an algorithm that helps ChatGPT learn efficiently, making sure it improves steadily without overtraining on certain types of responses. Prompt. Think of a prompt as the first domino in a long chain. You tap it, and it sets off a cascade of dominoes falling one after another. In the world of ChatGPT, a prompt is that initial tap. You type in a message, and it starts the flow of conversation, leading ChatGPT to generate a response that follows the direction you've set, just like the path the dominoes take. Prompt engineering. This is like crafting the perfect treasure hunt clues. You want to lead the hunters to the treasure without giving it away too easily. Prompt engineering is the art of designing those clues, prompts, so that ChatGPT can follow them to the treasure, the kind of response you're hoping for. It's a skillful blend of creativity and strategy to get the AI to produce the most valuable and relevant responses. Tokenization. Imagine you're baking cookies and you have a recipe that says, mix flour, sugar, butter, and chocolate chips. Each ingredient is like a token. Tokenization in ChatGPT is breaking down a sentence into these smaller pieces, or tokens. So our cookie recipe becomes mix flour, sugar, butter, and chocolate chips. Each word or punctuation mark is a token. It's like dividing a big cookie dough into bite-sized chunks so ChatGPT can process them more easily. And there you have it. Tokenization is like slicing up language into manageable pieces, just like those cookie dough chunks waiting to be baked. Hyperparameter. Hyperparameters are like the dials and knobs on a sound mixing board. Each one adjusts a different aspect of the sound: bass, treble, volume, etc. In ChatGPT, hyperparameters control how the AI learns during training. They're tweaked and tuned by the AI engineers to get the best performance out of this model, just like a sound engineer fine-tunes the settings to get the perfect mix for a song. Context window. Imagine you're in the middle of a gripping book, but every time you pick it up, you only remember the last few pages you read. That's the context window for a ChatGPT. It can only remember a certain amount of the conversation at a time, like the last few pages. This window is what it uses to make sense of what you're saying now and how it should respond. It's like having a conversation with someone who has a short-term memory, focusing on the most recent exchange. Response length bias. Imagine you're texting with a friend who either sends super short replies or goes off on long tangents. That's like the response length bias in ChatGPT. It has a tendency to lean towards shorter or longer responses based on how it's been trained. The AI team works hard to balance this so that ChatGPT's replies are just the right length, like a Goldilocks text. Not too short, not too long, but just right. To understand what you're saying and to craft its reply, adding bead by bead to create its own response. Fine-tuning. Imagine you've got a friend who's a fantastic guitarist. They can play many songs, but now they want to master flamenco, a specific style of music. So they practice more flamenco tunes, getting feedback and adjusting their technique. That's fine-tuning ChatGPT. After learning the general art of conversation, gets fine-tuned to be even better at certain topics or styles of chatting, just like your friend tailoring their guitar skills to flamenco. Generative AI. Picture a painter who doesn't just recreate scenes they've seen before, but can also imagine entirely new landscapes. Generative AI is like that artist, capable of creating new pieces of text or images that have never existed before. ChatGPT as a generative AI can craft unique responses, stories, or even poems, all from scratch, just like our imaginative painter conjuring up a unique picture. Join the community of curious minds and subscribe to my YouTube channel for a treasure trove of informative videos that will expand your horizons with every click.